Hey, Frankie Valli, he gets the people going.
That's just too many points.
I was like, hey, Gabe, how's it going? I love your work.
Dudes on the Mall is the podcast to listen to.
Gentlemen, we finally did it.
All right. Clap it up for the program.
Big one for the brand this past weekend, ending a 5-game losing streak. How are we feeling?
Does it count?
Yes.
It counts.
Okay, it counts.
When I saw the graphic and it said the only team that hasn't beat the only Power 5 team that hasn't beat a Power 5 team yet is Vanderbilt, it counts.
We beat a Power 5 team.
We beat a Power 5 team.
Let's go!
A really bad Power 5 team, but we beat them.
Oh, hey, like I said, as soon as the clock hit triple zeros, what was the first thing I texted? We're not the worst.
We're not the worst.
We're not the worst.
They can be the punching bag of the Big 12 now. Okay?
Obviously, picking up our first Big 12 win. Kind of ironic it was against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We now lead the series with them 5-4
Yeah, huge.
all time.
Dubs all over the place on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was great.
They suck, man.
They do
They're
suck.
terrible.
They're really
I mean,
bad.
we're bad, too. We only won by 2. But, like, they're atrocious.
Yeah.
This is a thing for me. This is yet another game where we could have blown someone out and we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kept stalling when we got on the other side of the 50.
We
per
did,
usual.
yeah.
Per
Per-
usual.
But they way outgained us.
Oh, yeah.
Like by over 100 yards, right? We were in the threes, I'm pretty sure, and they
By about
surpassed
120.
5, yeah.
They had 515. We had
Yeah.
393.
Crazy.
Defense. We'll get into it, but defense made the plays when they needed to.
They didn't. Yeah. They didn't look as bad as the stats say. I'll say that.
Cincinnati had a bunch of chunk plays, but
Yeah.
like they actually got pressure. They actually forced turnovers.
Right.
They actually got off the field on third down. Like this, it was a step in the right direction. We're not there yet, but it's progress.
It was progress. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Progress,
the word.
Yeah, that's a good one because, yeah, we'll get into it.
Well, we'll run over the game stats real quick and then give a quick trip review. Overall, obviously, UCF winning 28-26. Outgained by Cincinnati, 515 to 393. I think some big things that stand out is we were 6 of 13 on third down, and they were 4 of 12. So defense doing their job, getting off the field. We were 1 of 1 on fourth down. The fake punt was absolutely electric.
I knew it immediately. I don't know if anybody else saw RJ Harvey stay on the field, but he was the only one that lined up on that like wall in front of the punter. I knew immediately what that was. I can't believe that it honestly worked because Cincinnati should have been like,
Yeah.
what's he doing there?
Hey,
Yeah.
bad. Bad.
Time of possession actually relatively close considering how many total yards Cincinnati had. They had, we'll round up 33 minutes. We had 27, so a little bit better than what we've been accustomed to seeing. They also lost a fumble and threw a pick. We had no turnovers, took care of the ball. How many penalties do you think we had Saturday?
Not many.
Not a lot. It was actually a
I
pretty
would say,
clean
like-
game. I'm gonna go 3.
I was going to say 4.
3 for 20 yards.
Wow.
Since
like
he
I
had 8 for 75.
Like you were there.
Like I was there.
But obviously being carried by RJ Harvey, 20 carries, $164 on the ground with 3 touchdowns. Javon had some really good catches down the field, 4 grabs for 93. Plumlee, pretty much a game manager role, 13 of 23. We really didn't throw the ball that much because, I mean, why throw it when we can just run it with Harvey?
Dog.
So, all in all,
I texted you guys word for bark, 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 bark.
I'm pretty sure that's one of my notes. It's just yeah, it is. Yeah, right.
I mean,
It literally says, his note says,
Plumlee also carried it 13 times for 53 yards and a touchdown. So
Welcome back.
Yes,
Like,
that was good to see.
Yeah.
Great touchdown run, huge pickup on third down to get a first down. Also, huge run at the end of the game to get a yard short of the first down. We were talking about it. We had that run at the end of the game. We're like, we swear he had it. And then I think he just dove a yard short.
It was
you
no,
mean on the
he
very
was-
last?
yeah,
Yeah.
He was. I saw it on TV. He was down.
No, we
No,
know
he's
he was short.
definitely-
I just we were saying he had the first down. He
Oh,
was,
100%.
I think
No,
he thought
he
was
100%
I think
had
he
it.
thought he was already at the sticks, and so he dove
yeah,
like a yard
No,
early.
terrible, field IQ.
Yeah, I've said it a million times.
But
Beat the dead horse.
Stop the run. Don't turn the ball over.
All in all, great game. Defense got pressured. Trayvon Morris-Brash had a huge game.
As well.
2.5 sacks, huge. Malachi Lawrence also sack and a half. Walter Yates, 13 total tackles. Lee Hunter had 7, and he had a tackle for loss. And overall, I think that we can just take this game and look at it, and we're like, we played somewhat complimentary football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Step in the right direction.
Step in the right
Progress.
direction. We're back on track, kind of.
Before you guys get into live atmosphere, I will say the announcers, commentators, play-by-play did not. It seemed like they did not give a shit about.
I mean,
this
they
game.
shouldn't have battled
They
mid.
did not care about this game. It's like I felt like you were like they were forced to come in and like you're just like, all right, we got to do this. Let's just get it done and over with. You know.
Well, we've got RG3 this week, so it'll be electric.
Dog.
I was talking to Brandon before we started recording. It was like I think RG3 loves UCF. Like when he went to Spirit
Oh, I
Splash last
definitely
year,
agree.
and like
Yeah.
I feel like his calls are always electric.
He's a great
too.
personality.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Justin, game notes besides your barking?
Yeah. I mean, let me look over these real quick. At the beginning of the game, I was very displeased with the play calling. But I think overall it fixed itself by the end of the game. Like you said, we didn't throw the ball a lot, but we didn't need to.
Yeah.
It's nice to be on the other end of that for a change, but that's okay. One thing I was talking to Brandon about this on the way either to or from the airport yesterday. They benched Emory Jones in what was this still the first quarter?
First
when they
quarter.
benched him? Yeah, they benched him for a drive or two, and they put him back in the game. And the rest of the game, Cincinnati fans were booing Emory Jones. I think having him in the game was the smartest decision they made all day, because I'm not saying he's a good quarterback because he sucks, but he kept our defense honest, especially when we can't stop the run. Their other quarterback was not a threat to run the ball, and so the 2 drives that he was on the field, we looked like a top 10 defense in the country.
We were Alabama.
Right, exactly. And then they put Emory Jones back on the field, and we looked like us again. So, like, the Cincinnati fans were, like, really mad, and they had every right to be pissed off at Emory Jones because he stinks. But but I think that was, like, one of the few right decisions that Scott Satterfield made. One thing we have to talk about, I don't know if you guys could hear this on TV, but they played Zombie Nation
I heard it on
twice.
TV.
Twice.
Mistake.
What a mistake. First time, right before the half, Nikai Martinez interception, which honestly, huge turning point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Second time was right before RJ Harvey's last touchdown, right? It was at the end of the game.
It was at the
No,
end.
it was.
It was at the end of the game.
What a mistake.
Oh no, I thought it was after his touchdown.
No, it was before. It was the play before.
Oh,
I remember
no, it
because
was
we
the
were in
play-
there.
It was
We were
the
like,
play
they messed
before
up.
he bounced it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what a mistake there. But the first half, I guess, our offense looked a little sloppy, but they were moving the ball. The defense, like, we can touch on the defense first, I guess. I think positionally they were playing well. And I think that this was the first time in a couple of weeks that it just didn't look like we were getting bullied in the trenches. And obviously it showed up. I mean, Morris-Brash had, 2.5 sacks? I think we had 5 sacks total, 9 tackles for loss. So we were getting in the backfield, but it's the linebacker play that's killing us, and it continues to be a problem. We saw so many clips on Twitter and whatever of like just not being able to set the edge. And I don't know if it's a scheme issue. I don't know what it is, but I mean it's clear as day what the problem is, because our secondary was not bad, especially when their backup was in, whatever his name is.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. They played well. Obviously, our D-line was playing fantastic, so it's just... Oh, are we falling?
I forgot. Flag line's 2.5 today.
2.5. And we're all going over?
Yes.
Over.
Okay,
Over.
cool. Anyway, so yeah. So obviously, like, with our issues stopping the run, linebackers is the core of that issue. But I don't know what exactly is the problem with the linebackers. Because, I mean, Jason Johnson and Walter Yates... They were pretty good.
Yeah,
Jason
they were
Johnson
good.
led our team in tackles last year by a landslide. So
I don't know if it's like if it's something that Addison's telling them, or if they're like because you're right, it doesn't make sense this year the way they've been playing. It's like almost like they got their shoes tied together or something, like some just outside factor that is just like out of their control. But they looked halfway decent this game,
Right.
but throughout the year it's just been it feels like an anomaly. It feels
Yeah.
like something happened. It feels like they've been sick like every week.
Right. So I don't know what the issue is there, but anyways, On the offense side of the ball, obviously, Brandon touched on R.J. Harvey, just
Dog.
an absolute dog.
Dog.
He's already at 30-something, I think, yards on the season. Maybe even more than that. He's above 800. I know
can
he
pull
is.
it up.
We have 3 games left. He's gonna break 1,000 yards,
100%.
and that's one of our hot takes.
876.
876. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's gonna break 1,000
He'll-
yards.
he'll break it on
easily,
Saturday.
barring any injuries. Knock on wood. So he's great. Javon kind of looked like his normal self, but he's not getting a lot of playtime.
No, he's not.
It's really weird to see like Trent Whittemore getting a lot of playtime and Javon being on the bench. And Javon still makes some crazy catches. Granted, he's had.
I
his
wonder
issues,
if he's
but-
not 100% healthy.
That could be a fact.
Like,
Yeah.
throw him out there as a decoy. He was. I'll say this: he would be on the field when there was a play that needed to be made, but on like first and second down, he wasn't really out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. That's smart. Speaking of which, X didn't play
Yeah,
either.
X is out.
So maybe we'll get him back this week. I did see him on the field after halftime. He was throwing with Kobe maybe or someone, just like tossing the ball, and his ankle was not taped. So I don't know if that was because they knew he wasn't going to play, or maybe he's almost there. So maybe we'll see him this Saturday. I don't know. And then I guess JRP. I don't think my view on him has changed at all, even though we won this game. I still don't think he's that spectacular.
I think before we were saying JRP is him. Now we are saying JRP is a guy. Not the guy.
Yeah.
But just a guy.
I like that. He's a guy.
He looked more dynamic, being able to run the ball. Well, he was more free flowing this past week.
But he still didn't look anything crazy. I mean, obviously we weren't passing the ball, but
yeah, I mean he went out and did. We did have a couple of drops. There was a couple bad passes.
I agree with that.
And which the throws we did make were downfield shots,
right?
Like we've heard we were going to do all.
And then they were most of them were money throws. Like Kobe had that one drop that was honestly in the right basket. I mean, it was a great throw. So it's not all on JRP, but I'm not ready to be like, okay, like he's figured it out. He's 100% healthy and back. I'm not going to make excuses for him anymore. He still needs to improve, obviously, and I like that he's a guy.
He's just a guy. We've been seeing a lot of that this year with these drops, man. I mean, like,
yeah, it has been bad.
It's been a problem.
Once in a lifetime drop.
We're good for I feel like 2 to 3 like good drops.
Yeah.
By good
Yeah.
I mean bad.
Bad,
Like
yeah.
drops.
I don't think a drop is good.
Yeah.
Like a thing that like should be caught by anybody. Like
Yeah.
it's just a little lollipop.
Right. But yeah, I think you said it best Brandon. Complimentary football all around. Not a great game. Like from both, not anything spectacular, I guess, from both sides of the ball, but effective enough to get it done against a bad team.
Got the job done.
Got the job
That's all
done.
that matters. And Cincinnati
And
still
it felt
sucks.
great.
It felt great.
Oh.
Yeah, a win.
What a win.
It was great. I'll tell you something. I didn't go on the Cincinnati trip because I'm lame. No, I'm just kidding. It was my grandmother's birthday. My grandmother and my sister share a birthday, so we were all celebrating at the house. I was at halftime. My grandmother tells me, it's like, oh, how's the UCF game going? Have it on the TV. I was just like, oh, they're up. It's looking good. Don't want to say anything yet. She's like, okay, good. She's got a really thick Hispanic accent. Good, because the past few weeks they've been making me cry.
Me too.
So I was the same thing. I was like, oh, you're telling me?
Yeah.
You're telling me, abuela.
You need to work on your Spanish accent a little bit.
Why?
That wasn't great.
Sorry.
Could be better.
I mean,
Could speak Spanish too, but yeah,
I could do that, but I declined that opportunity when I was 2 years old. Did I tell you the story about me trying to learn Spanish?
Uh-huh.
So my mom and my grandmother, throughout growing up, would try to talk to us in Spanish, and would try to reinforce the language. Me and my siblings, whenever they would talk Spanish, we would just plug our ears and say, I can't understand you. And that is my biggest regret in life.
That's hilarious.
City review real quick.
Yeah.
You can go first.
Okay. Cincinnati was surprising, I guess is the word I'll go with. It was fun. It was we were not there for long. We got there Friday night, left early Sunday morning, so basically had
Like 36 hours.
Yeah, dinner Friday night and then post game Saturday to explore the city. But it was nice. Downtown was really cool. The Bengal Stadium and the Red Stadium is awesome. Right on the river, really cool. And the people there were so much nicer than I thought.
I thought we were going to get beat up.
Right. I was fully prepared to just old school rivalry, just absolute hate, and we got the polar opposite of that. I mean,
Yeah.
we eventually made our way to their tailgate spot, their version of the mall, I guess.
Their tailgating is not good.
No, it's not. It took their mall is about the size of one section of our mall. And
Not
that's
even.
all their tailgating.
Not even.
It was packed in that area, I will say, but it was not that big of an area. But anyways, it took us a while to find it. We finally found it. And then we were just walking around and got pulled in by some Cincinnati fans. Could have been our parents. And they were just the nicest people.
They offered us food. They offered us drinks.
Oh, that's awesome.
They we probably talked to them for 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah, easily. Probably close to an hour.
Oh, close to an hour.
He kept telling me to finish my drink so he could give me another one.
We were a little hesitant when they invited us into their spot at first because we were like, are they actually being nice to us?
Yeah.
And
Like a
then
spike your drinks?
we made they're like, no, like come join us, welcome. Have you guys been here before? And it was nice.
Yeah. If anything made me want to go back to Cincinnati, it was them. Which was,
they kind of sealed the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is not something I was expecting at all, but they were super nice.
No.
And we even told the funniest part was the mom made us take a picture with their inflatable bear cat after a while. And before
I would never do that first of all voluntarily. But they were being very
They were
polite.
being very nice, so I was like, okay, whatever. But before that, we were telling them oh, you guys are so nice. We were totally expecting to have beers thrown at us and stuff like that. And so we're taking a picture with the inflatable bear cat. One of the dads threw an empty beer can at us just as a joke. I thought that was hilarious. It was just so funny. He was and then right after he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, that was hilarious. So,
food scene also pretty solid. The dinner we had Friday night at the Eagle was the fanciest fried chicken place ever.
dude, fried chicken and hot honey.
Hot honey.
Oh, bro.
And really good mac and cheese.
I let him know we up the next morning.
Justin woke up at 5:30. Brandon, where's the room key?
I woke Brandon up. I'm holding his wallet. I'm like, give me the room key now. And it was a hike to the lobby bathroom, dude. It was so far.
Yeah. Hotel was a different experience. Don't need to go back to that
It was
hotel.
weird. It was weird.
But no, all in all, it was a lot of fun. Frontier flight there was uneventful. Justin's seat had a bunch of crumbs in it for the most part. But
Yeah, you probably got a kid
gross.
sitting in that seat
And those
before.
seats are so uncomfortable, dude.
I mean,
it's
it's literally just metal with
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
piece of fabric
Yeah.
over it.
It was
Fantasy
awful.
football punishment: find the longest one-way flight you can out of Orlando and make them fly Frontier.
Middle seat.
Middle seat.
Middle
Yep.
seat.
In the back, next to the bathroom.
Ooh.
Oh. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
Not a great flight, but for $80-$90 round
you
trip,
get what you
I'm
pay
not
for.
going to complain.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
So,
Anything else? I don't think that was about it. It was a quick trip.
their stadium was cool. It was small. I think
It
if you
is.
take away all the press box and everything like that, I think it's 30,000 max.
It's tiny.
It's basically one bowl. It's I think their entire stadium was smaller than Oklahoma's lower bowl.
Oh, 100%.
Which I hear 80 rows and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. But
Oklahoma's entire lower bowl is probably the size of our stadium.
yeah, but it was nice. We were on the end of the horseshoe, and we had a bunch of plants next to us, or
shrubbery.
something, so we could stand the whole game. That was nice.
Yeah.
But it was a cool stadium. The concourse was weird. Not a lot of food options, so we didn't get food there.
I wanted Skyline chili, but we couldn't find it, and the lines were super long, and I wasn't that hungry, so no Skyline.
Who did I see? Was it Brandon Hellwig? I don't know. Somebody that
Yes.
was one of the
So
media
what-
guys
yeah.
posted his picture of Skyline chili, and it had so much cheese on it. And he said he asked for light cheese. Dude.
They're opening one here,
Ugh,
next week,
That's-
over near Disney.
that's disgusting.
I think we all.
It looks
I think-
so
I think we
gross,
gotta
dude.
take
Why
it
the
for a
only
go.
Skyline chili I saw in person was that one shake that had one of the chili dogs right in
Oh,
front
it
of
was
us.
stacked.
That looked brutal.
You need some grapes after having that.
That's ugh. I don't know how you acquire a taste to that, but it just did not look appetizing.
I think we got to make a
I
trip.
guarantee if I eat it, I'll be like, I need to have another one.
when this place opens in Orlando. I
I'm
think.
pretty sure it's next week it opens.
Dang. I mean, it has to be better than it looks. It has to.
I mean, clearly
it can't. It can't be worse.
looks
than it looks.
bad. Yeah. So overall, it was a good trip.
Really fun.
We all said we'd go back.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We also think that we might be the problem when expecting Reed fans.
we were walking back to the car, and I looked at Brandon, and I was like, "We might need to take a look in the mirror."
You're gonna change your mind, I think, after the swamp next year.
Yeah, that's
There's that.
different. That's
and at West Virginia, I think we'll also be
Yeah,
fine.
West Virginia's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
They will not be nice there. But I now like anywhere else I'm traveling in the country, like I think I'll be shocked because we didn't even talk about the guy in the stadium.
Okay.
So the only chirps we were getting the entire day was coming from. It started at about halftime, maybe.
Yeah, it's about halftime.
Maybe like 10 rows behind us or something like that. There was a group of maybe like 4 dudes, probably pretty drunk. I'd say they were late 20s, early 30s, something like that. And they started heckling us a little bit, but like nice heckles and like not no like cursing, nothing. It was like it started with them chanting Disney sucks, which I don't understand that because not only are we like nowhere near Disney, in all honesty, we're not even sponsored by Disney.
I thought we were.
I don't think we are.
We used to be.
I just turned around to him and said, "That's fine. I'll go to Universal instead."
Yeah. So anyways, but then it was like oranges are a bad crop.
Yeah.
And
okay, buddy.
And then he was like, "You guys live in Florida. Why are you so pale?" And blah, blah, blah. Just like stupid stuff like that, like whatever.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was like, I turned around at that point and I was like, Central Florida. I'm not near a beach, but anyway. So they were just like doing that all game, and then right after the game's over, he comes up to the one guy came up to us and he was like, "Hey, great game, y'all." Whatever. Instantly like Boise vibes. He's like, "I'm from Ocala." What a plot twist! I was like, "Dude, you're paler than me, bro. What do you mean?" So it was funny. But,
Oh man,
it was good. He shook our hands.
Yeah.
He laughed. He's like, "Get home safe. Like enjoy Cincy. Be safe." Whatever.
That's awesome.
Right. So point of the story was even the mean ones ended up being like
nice.
real nice
Yeah.
guys.
they were
So-
fake mean.
Fake.
They were
yeah,
fake.
yeah. And I totally respect it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's Space Week. Do you want to do the week or Space first?
We gotta do a game preview, don't we?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
if
we'll do that.
I was gonna do the game preview last.
Yeah, we'll do that last.
All right.
Let's do due to the week first, because then we can
Okay.
just focus on the space game.
That's fair.
I like that.
Dude of the week,
Closest one we've ever had last week.
Yes.
which is
I
surprising.
think I won by one vote.
Justin did
Yeah.
win by one vote.
By
by one vote.
And it came down to Twitter, which is crazy because it never comes down to
Yeah,
Twitter.
it always comes down to Instagram. It's never Twitter.
So, who did I even have?
Eggo.
There you
The
go.
waffle grillers, yeah.
There- I thought you were gonna win it like with a
I
landslide.
thought so too.
I
That's
thought
just
it was
funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It could have been like a you had to be there thing.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people didn't get it.
that's true.
Anyways.
Well, a lot of people don't get that you don't grill Eggo waffles on a freaking grill.
Hey, we're gonna be on the mall at 9:30 Saturday. We might get a part 2.
Maybe.
They're gonna have the French toast sticks.
Anyway, so I guess I'll lead us off then.
Yep.
I have 5 candidates for Due to the Week this week, and I have not decided. Well, I've narrowed it down to 2.
Well, we're here, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one guy. So it comes from. I told Brandon about this already. It comes from our flight to
Oh
Cincinnati.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
This is a good one.
A great dude. Josh hasn't heard the story yet, so I'm mostly talking to you. So it's our flight out to Cincinnati on Friday. Decent number of UCF fans on there, maybe like 20 to 30, I'd say. One of them, my entire row is UCF fans, but we all didn't know each other. And so I'm sitting in the window seat. There's a lady in the middle, and then there's one dad decked out in like space gear on the aisle seat, right? We're about an hour into the flight. Not even, it wasn't that long, maybe like 45 minutes. And they come around asking for drinks, whatever. Nothing's free on a Frontier flight, obviously. And he asks for 2 Bud Lights. So, and meanwhile, like, there's only like an hour left in this flight. I'm like, okay. So she comes back with 2 cans of Bud Light. She puts them on his tray, and she tries to hand him a glass, and he goes, "I don't need it." I was like, okay, this is awesome. I was watching a show on my laptop. I keep peeking over. He downed both those beers in like 20 minutes. That man was just like, could have been my dad, just going ham on the Frontier flight out to Cincinnati, just downing Bud Light.
Hammered on a Frontier flight.
It was what, an hour 45-minute flight?
Yeah.
Downed him in 20 minutes, just getting the weekend started.
Respect.
So
What time was y'all's flight?
It was we left at
left at
6:30.
6:30, 6:45.
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
Landed in Cincinnati at like
After
8.
5 o'clock,
It
man.
was, dude,
We landed at like 8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what a guy. So I'm pretty sure he was with his whole family on that flight. And he was just sitting alone, and he was like, "Give me those beers,
Give me
getting the
the
weekend
beers."
started." So I don't know who that man is. If he's listening right now, hats off to you,
That's
sir.
awesome. So you get a whole salute. That's awesome. Who wants to go next? Oh, Brandon, you go next since you went to Cincy.
I told Justin I got to do it. I'm running a double back on Due to the Week, I had Boise DJ earlier in the year. I'm running back Cincy DJ for 2 Zombie Nations, resulting in 2 huge plays for the game.
When are they going to learn?
They've never,
Nobody's going to learn.
They have played us now 9 times,
Yeah.
and they did that. It's just mind blowing.
I said it after Boise. I was like, you got to scout the other team's atmosphere at the games. They shouldn't have even needed a scout. They've been to Orlando 4
Self-awareness
times.
is key, and their DJ was lacking it.
Yikes.
We just need a DJ to play Frankie Valley one time.
Yeah, I was hoping they would play that. I would have been the loudest person in that stadium on Saturday.
That's hilarious.
All right, my dude of the week is actually not UCF Cincy related, but it is college football related. There was a game, SEC matchup that happened this weekend. It was Texas A&M versus Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
There is an offensive lineman who is more of a man than I am. So
or maybe less of a man.
Now. And I thought about it actually on the drive here to record the podcast. This is my second, piggybacking off of the DJ, this is my second nut shot of the I had the camera guy that one time. But my dude of the week is Micah Pettis, number 57 O-lineman for Ole Miss, who took one right to the cojones, man. Right to the balls from a Vanderbilt player. The Vanderbilt player ended up getting ejected for that.
Texas
A&M.
A&M, sorry.
Yeah.
A&M. At first I thought it was Vanderbilt, but I had to verify. Texas A&M player, just absolutely, they're the play's dead, they blow it dead, and like he's just like struggling to get up, whatever, and then he's just his head is just like mid section high of the player, and then he just completely just uppercuts right in the cup. And he took it like a man. Took it like a champ.
Didn't even phase
him.
Yeah.
He's just like, what are you doing down there? So then the A&M player got kicked out, and it blew up all over Twitter. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Micah Pettis, he's a dog for taking one right to the balls.
That's awesome.
This is 3 strong showings again.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I have a feeling that all 3 of ours are going to come from Saturday this week.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably a good chance of that, I'd say.
Yep.
Cool.
Well,
Ooh, can I touch on one of my honorable mentions real quick?
Yeah.
My honorable mention was Brett Yormark, because the boys are going to Ames in 2024.
Let's go.
Scheduled release, we're going to Iowa State.
We're going to every game.
We're going to every.
We are probably the only
I-
ones that are excited to go to Iowa State. But
I am 100% ready to go to every single game next year.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona
Yeah.
State. Are you serious? We love Phoenix.
Yep.
What else we got? We got
Morgantown.
Yep, Morgantown, West Virginia. We got
Ames, and TCU.
TCU.
Yeah,
4 solid
in
cities.
Florida, which is
be there.
Florida,
there.
I mean, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
I fear for our safety. Like we're.
I,
Gonna,
I do fear for that.
like
Dude, we're gonna go to like 11 games next year.
we're gonna go to, we could
Sir,
go
I'm
to
trying to go to 12.
all of them.
You want to go to all? Who's our other out of conference?
They're both at home.
They're both at home. We have 7 home games.
Oh, so we're gonna go to
8
every
if you
game.
count
We're
then.
gonna go to every single game.
We
next
have
year.
We have 7
games in the
home
state of
games. What am I missing? We have 7 home games and 4 away. That's
TCU.
11. Huh? No, we only have 4.
We have 5 away games.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah.
Florida's an away
Okay,
game.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 in the state of Florida.
Okay. That's
I
wild.
would say that's a home game too, but I don't want to offend any Gators out there.
We'll have a good showing.
It'll be fun.
We're going to have to buy resale for that game.
Yeah, we are.
Because if we buy through our allotment, we're going to be up there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to at least have decent seats.
Agreed.
Here's the thing, though:
They're going to be expensive.
if
They
we win, I fear for our safety.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna
If
need
we-
to hightail it out.
If we lose, I fear for our safety. Only because I feel like Florida fans are more aggressive, so I feel like it'll be like we might get hurt if we win, we might cry if we lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of away games that I'm like nervous about anymore. That one's definitely, and not from the football field, from a.
And I swear to God, if we end up in Gainesville and every single Florida Gators fan is like, "Hey man, how's it going? Nice to see you."
I can guarantee you that won't happen.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
It will happen. It won't happen as often as they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's older people.
There will be people who are nice, but it's not going to
Sonny?
be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be all
No,
dandelions. And
It wasn't like that in Tampa for the gas people.
Yeah.
Bad.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, but see, that's a neutral site though. So like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
That's
gonna be
swamp's
even
gonna be
worse.
destroyed.
Yeah.
it's gonna be aggressive.
Well,
Space game.
space game.
Base
Yeah.
game.
We are on for Saturday. Oklahoma State, 3:30. What were they in the AP? 15.
I did not see the AP,
I think
actually.
AP was 15, or CFP should come out tomorrow.
CFP
right?
comes out tomorrow, so we should see them we'll have most likely a top 15 opponent at home on Saturday. Quick background: 6-0 all-time in space games. Josh has it pulled up over here. Average score of 50-24 with a point differential on average of 26 in space games. Also wearing Canaveral blue.
All Canaveral.
All Canaveral blue. Never worn blue before ever.
Oof.
I don't know who this team is.
I know.
I mean,
I'm so excited.
No, we didn't wear. We wore blue accents last year.
What if they? Okay. I want them to paint the end zones so bad.
Oh my! That'd be
What
so
if they
cool.
painted them blue?
They should put the Citronaut at midfield.
Oh, stop!
Well, I don't know. I sent you all the tweet earlier. They're putting video boards.
I
in
did see
around
that.
That
the
Big
Yeah,
12
that's
check hit
wild.
early.
That,
A little bit, yeah.
Check cleared. Terry
Yeah.
said, "Let's go."
They can afford a
Sign
little
up
extra
on the
paint.
projects. Let's go.
I will settle for black end zones, but if I walk into the stadium and there are Canaveral blue end zones,
They
Any
should.
sort of blue on the field at all.
They should have made post-game fans on the field for this game instead of last game.
Well, I think they were trying to get the whole field storm because they thought we might win. This time we got the right to storm the field if we were to win.
yes.
But our stadium's not built for a field storm.
Which
People would
sucks.
get
Yeah,
hurt
it-
I
because
want
of
just
that.
one, dude. Just one.
It is built for a field storm if you don't care about like injuring yourself.
Yeah. I mean, the only
Yeah.
way you could possibly storm our field is running down and then going through the gates on the side.
Just open
in
the
order.
gates.
You could.
Over.
You could if you're in the.
But they
stu-
can block us from
If you're
that.
in the South student section, which student section I think is something we need to talk about as well, because we had a little Twitter thing going on. If you are like roll onto the cabanas, like the roof of the cabanas,
think it would break.
And then like you think it would break?
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty solid.
Nah, I think it's canvas.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
they're
think they're that
supported. I think
solid.
they could support.
Josh,
Not-
that
not
thing
a
ain't
whole bunch
supporting
of
you.
people.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try at some point.
But in the spirit of the space game, we're going to pick our favorite combo, but we're going to do one piece from a different uniform and make our own custom one.
Yeah, it's a create your own combo.
Are we doing like
I think-
I missed the text earlier? Are we doing
We're-
duplicates are allowed?
Duplicates are allowed.
Duplicates are allowed.
Just name your combo.
I ranked mine in order, but I will. Yeah. Okay.
Because if we think, because my thinking was, if one of us has the same exact combo, like the odds of that are kind of low, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we'll have unique combos.
I agree.
I'll run mine first.
Go for it.
I am going with the 2019 Moon helmet with last year's black jersey with the Canaveral blue numbers and this year's Canaveral blue pants.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
I was like, this one's kind of different. I kind of like it.
I like that.
That's my favorite helmet, so that's why I went with that one.
All right.
I like that. You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm doing basically the exact opposite of that.
Wow.
I'm doing this year's jersey with last year's black, like so the all Canaveral blue because I love the shoulder design is so cool and it's good color and then I think it would look great with black pants. So I'm gonna go with last year's black pants because it's got the Canaveral blue in them. It's got the Citronaut on the hip, and then I was kind of in between. I think in my rankings, I think the Moon helmet is the best by far. I mean, it's just the most unique. It's super cool. But for the combo, I'm gonna go with last year's helmet as well because it had that like gradient Canaveral blue to black decal.
Yes.
And it was like all black. So I think that black helmet with the blue top and the black pants, I think that would go hard.
Gotcha. So I did a little bit different. 2018 helmet. So the 2018 helmet was black. It had the stars and stripes down the middle. It was just one, where it had the stars as one stripe, not the stars and stripes. It had one stripe down the top of the crown of the helmet, and those were the stars. I'm gonna go with the 2019 white jersey that had the constellations and the numbers with last year's pants.
Interesting.
So it's a black, white, black.
I do think I do have the 2019 white jersey higher on my list. I think that one's very slept on.
I really like that one.
No, I really with the
was very
constellations and the numbers. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sick.
super
It's
cool.
got the blue outline. It's the black numbers with the white.
I think it's better than the 2021 white one, but just barely. That was a super
Yeah.
cool design with like the space
That
shuttle.
one-
The space
that
shuttle
one,
was
yeah.
cool.
But
I like
yeah,
that.
but
Oh,
as
I-
a standalone, I think the 2019 one edges out.
I like how they have the space shuttle names in the 2021
That is
one.
Yeah, that's really nice. So,
So
all right, a couple of unique combos there.
Yeah.
Really like that.
So see, we didn't have any duplicates.
No, look at that.
I just love this year's jersey.
This year's
Dude, it's
jersey.
so, that shoulder should be our permanent shoulder.
It's
with
cool.
with the like wings and the
Yeah.
Pegasus.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Even the patch, like this year's patch, looks
Yeah.
It's cool.
incredible. It looks really cool.
If you want to get me on board with a gold jersey, put that wing on the shoulder, I'm in.
I like that number design too.
I do too.
I
the
kind of
font.
didn't like it at first, but the more I look at it, the more it's grown on me.
Like if you do a gold jersey with all that in black.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. Ooh, I think that would look classy.
Plus, the helmet looks kind of cool too. I mean, it's just
The chrome
all
face
white.
mask is a
the
very
chrome
nice
face
touch.
mask, all white, and then you have the stars and the
In the decal, yeah. And then it's got the like lift off thing with
Yep.
it's like the gradient like blue to white. Oof.
Oh, so
They didn't have to
It's
go
gonna
that
be
hard
exciting.
this year. They really didn't.
I don't know where we go from here.
I feel like we said that last year.
ever upward in our flight, Brandon.
Next year's gonna be a white one
Ever
probably.
upward in our flight.
Next year will be white with blue accents or something.
Yeah, next year will be a mismatch like
Hey,
color combo.
bring back gray.
No, dude, I have the 2020 gray as my least favorite.
No, I'm
jersey.
just saying I liked when we always wore the pewter jerseys.
Oh, I love the pewter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the pewter.
Just we could do a pewter space one.
yeah. It just the 2021 didn't hit for me,
Nah,
which is weird because that's the one that's on my mannequin in my office. But
it still looks cool.
it's a
Out
cool
of all of
jersey.
them.
But out of all of them, it's dead last for me.
How do we feel about anthracite? We missed that.
Is that the darker one?
The darker gray.
I miss
I
pewter
thought
more.
pewter was the darker gray.
No,
Am I
anthracite.
tripping?
Anthracite's
Anthracite.
that.
I miss pewter way more
yeah.
than anthracite.
Anthracite's the real jersey that I have.
That's right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
miss pewter way more. That's a good color.
I like the I kind of like them. They're kind of on the same level for me. Like I miss them. I wish we would use them more. But like,
I thought that the pewter looked good with the black pants and the black
yeah,
helmets.
definitely,
Yeah. Yep.
Like the 18 conference
The-
championship.
yeah.
yeah.
100%.
definitely.
All right, game preview.
Game preview.
Oklahoma State. Man, they run the ball.
A lot.
I pulled this up from this past weekend just to give us, since we have a game-by-game comparison, since we're familiar with Oklahoma. Their running back, Gordon II, he's going to have a field day on Saturday.
Yes.
This man had 33 carries this past weekend. I will say, though, he only had 137 yards on 33 carries.
Yeah, but Oklahoma has a better run defense than we do.
Do
Double-
they?
double
Yes.
it. Yeah.
There's not a lot of schools that have a worse run defense than us.
Well,
I'm not saying they're good. I'm just
They also threw for 334. Their quarterback was 28 of 42. So they spent a lot of time on the field running offensive plays. If he threw the ball 42 times, Gordon did also attempt to pass on a trick play and it got picked off.
Nice.
Nice.
But outside of Gordon, no one else ran the
Seen
ball.
that movie before.
Their quarterback is not mobile, so we can take that out of the
That's
equation
awesome.
now.
That's really good to hear.
He had one carry for 13 yards.
That's very good to hear.
And they had another running back who had 2 carries for -1. So
So the workload
So
is
keys to the game.
the key to the game.
Shut
this
down
week-
Gordon
Shut
the second.
down Gordon the second.
Gordon the second. Go for the legs.
And then also on the offensive side, Rashad Owens was their leading receiver last week. He had 136, and they also had another guy who had 97. But that's really, honestly, I'm like, it is straightforward. The key to the game this week. I know we had half my keys to the game last week.
Beating a dead horse.
Turnovers and stopping the run. This week, same thing.
Same thing.
I can give you some comparisons though, real quick. On the season, Gordon's got 174 carries for 1,224 yards and 12 touchdowns.
It's already over 1,000 yards.
Yeah. RJ's got 146 carries for 876. And their leading receiver, very comparable to Javon. He's got 37 grabs for 445, but he only has 1 touchdown. Javon's at 678 with 5 touchdowns.
I think it's crazy that Javon is still like our statistical leading receiver.
All of the
Like if
catches
you would have
are-
asked me, I would have told you it's Kobe.
He's had a couple stinker games where he's only had like 2 grabs.
That's true.
But when we're not throwing it a lot, I mean,
Yeah, it's tough.
I think this one's a little interesting too. Bowman, their starting quarterback, 1,914 yards, and on completion percentage on the year, 58%. 8 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Okay.
You know who that sounds like?
Jeremy.
Yeah, it does. JRP on the season. Granted, he's played in less games. 63% completion, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks. Plus, he has the run factor.
7 picks.
Yikes.
Hot take. I said double digits.
Yikes.
So, I'm telling you right now, key to the game, stop the run, don't turn the ball over. That's how you get a win. I know it's the same thing as last week, but literally, like,
That's how our team is built to win games.
Yeah.
Stop the run.
But just hear me out.
I can't believe FPI has us. Sorry, I just saw it. I can't believe FPI has us.
Oh, yeah.
winning this game.
FPI has us barely.
We're only-
1.7%.
Only 2.5 point dogs.
I think we're up to 3.5.
No, I saw 2.5.
We saw
earlier.
2.5
Okay.
right before we started recording.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
Hangover game
hangover game. If
for OK State, not for us. Maybe for us.
nah, there's no way. It's hangover. if the people show up, let them in, stay. Makes it a tough place to play. But hear me out. Time change already happened, so it's getting dark at like 5:30, 3:30 kick.
Which sucks.
But I know we all wanted 7. At least it's not noon.
We're gonna get a lights up, lights down.
Well, it's got to be a close game. Like, we can't be doing lights up, lights down, down 30.
True. Yeah, very true.
So
Read the room.
hear me out. It's like 5:30 because it's dark enough at 5:30. Granted, it'd be better when it's pitch black. But
Start of the third quarter.
it's be like midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dark outside. We're gonna go TV timeout. They're gonna do lights up, lights down. Then they're gonna play the video because we're still gonna be in a close game. It's gonna be electric. They're gonna have Shaquem Griffin come on the screen, hype up the crowd. It's gonna be some alum night, and then we're gonna hear Frankie Valli in the fourth quarter when we're winning, and we're gonna win on Saturday.
They're gonna play Frankie Valli in the first quarter. Then they're gonna do lights up, lights down, with the sun's
I'm ready to
still
run through.
out.
I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
I feel like just everything is just gonna go
Hey,
opposite.
We
kickoff.
got one win against a team that moved with us, and I'm ready to go.
Let's-
At kickoff, I'm gonna look at Justin and Josh. I'm gonna go, boys. It's dark enough. We're gonna put our phones up with the lights.
It's dark enough.
Here's the reason why I'm shitting on it though, is because when has game day operations gone? When has it gone our way at all this year?
This leads me to my hot take. That's a great segue.
Great segue.
Great
Great
segue.
segue.
Okay.
Hot take. Guaranteed win on Saturday.
Whoa.
If there are chicken Caesar wraps at the concession stand.
Well,
I'd
we
already
know
told you
there's not
last
gonna
week.
be. They took it off. The
They took it
menu.
off the menu.
Okay, it's a new week.
No, it's like
It's
off the
it's
menu.
off, like, yeah.
I'm just saying, if you see a Caesar wrap on Saturday, you better bet we're winning.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna have to go to every concession stand.
No, just that one.
So what happens when there's not a Caesar wrap at that concession stand?
Then my hot takes are
50-50?
relevant. Yeah.
Well, it's not
just-
a guaranteed win.
According to ESPN, it's 52-48.
Actually,
if
you know
they
what?
knew that Caesar wrap was gonna be in here, that would be 80%.
I like you're kind of covering yourself, Brandon, because you're saying it's a guaranteed win if there's a Caesar wrap,
Which is
But,
not gonna be.
If there's not a Caesar wrap, then
It's
it's not
just-
guaranteed.
Yeah, we can
We
still
can still
win.
win. It's
Yeah.
just not guaranteed.
All right.
That is the secret. And I'm also gonna give you another one. When this flag hasn't fallen, we haven't lost.
When the flag under hits, we're 1-0.
When the under hits on the flag, we are undefeated. And this thing still hasn't fallen yet today. It's gonna fall like in 2 seconds.
The whole flag's gonna fall.
This is the point of the season that we've reached.
We're just looking.
First it was outfits, then it was where we're recording the podcast. Now it's this.
It hasn't been proven wrong yet.
All right, it's gonna have to be where
Don't you just love sports?
we're playing at home. 2 of us are wearing our shirts. Mine was still in the washer. 2 of us are wearing our shirts, and then like with the spot, we have a different spot on the mall this time. So
Yeah, we've
The
changed,
outfits
we've changed
that
it.
Brandon and I both wore, like jerseys over top of sweatshirts to the Cincy game.
y'all gotta wear them this
And
week.
that's what we were saying, because we're 1-0
It's
on them now. The high is 87 on Saturday. That would be rough.
I was wearing a white jersey. I don't want to be having a t-shirt contest of wet.
Oof.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so I'm telling you, I got a good feeling this weekend.
I have been talking myself into a very good feeling. I think at the very least it's going to be a competitive game.
Now, am I ready to lose by 50? Yes.
Here are the signs, though. The signs. Only conference loss. Iowa State.
You mean OK State's only conference loss? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? What is that?
Iowa State.
And we have a resident Iowa
What does
State
that
fan
have to
on
do
this
with
program.
anything?
Jay, what we're saying is that if we lose, it's on you.
Why?
Because
I'm not an
you're-
Iowa State fan anymore. I used to be. We've been over this.
Ames, boys!
Yeah, I'm excited.
What you just said.
They'll always have a piece of my heart.
My God.
I don't bet on them anymore.
I thought we were reaching here.
We're making the college football circle of
Iowa State is up there in the Big 12 rankings. They lost. They only have 2 conference losses.
That's
I think, or
nuts.
no, maybe it's 3 now because
Iowa
Kansas.
State can make the conference.
When I
championship.
checked, they were mid.
I saw that.
They can because when I checked, they were midway through their game, so they hadn't gotten their loss yet, and they were 3rd place in the Big 12.
There's actually like 6 teams that can still make the conference
Yeah.
championship.
100%. Everybody beats everybody up.
Yep.
Our
we said
odds.
at the beginning of the year.
We still have odds to make the conference championship game. You know that?
Stop.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
do.
don't.
Plus,
No, it's impossible.
It's
It's
plus
literally impossible.
10,000.
It's
It's
literally
impossible.
impossible.
We have 5
No,
losses.
because I checked when we were in Kentucky. The only 2 teams there were only 2 teams in the Big 12 that don't have odds to make the Big 12 championship. Can you guess the teams?
Well, us and Cincy.
Yeah.
But
If we had beat West
It's
Virginia
literally
or
impossible.
Baylor, we would still. Be
I
able
saw a
to.
tweet today that said
No,
odds to make the Big 12
It's
championship.
statistically
UCF
impossible for us to make the Big
Well,
12
that's why
championship.
Vegas has bright lights because people are betting on things that are literally impossible.
So you're saying I should get my money back?
Yes.
Just kidding.
I'm just saying. Saturday, we get a full. Okay.
That's
we get a
the
full
key.
tailgate where all 3 of us can be there. It's not a noon game, so it's not a condensed one. Josh will actually be on time on Saturday.
I will be on time, and I will be consuming alcohol. Unless my liver fails from now until then, I will be consuming alcohol.
We're having a full tailgate. We got a 3:30 kick on ESPN with RG3. We're wearing blue jerseys. We haven't lost a space game. We're gonna stop the run.
We're gonna put the flags up
Brandon,
upside down.
you've made the sale, man.
Josh, no, Josh. This is completely unrelated, but Gus Malzahn and Scott Satterfield could be twin brothers.
Yes, good.
I'm just everything that's gonna go right is gonna go right this
We're
week.
on-
It just makes sense.
It just
This makes sense.
And when we lose by 50, I'm still gonna be upset.
And we'll be here next week to talk
We'll
about
be
it.
here right next week, every Tuesday, live on Pizza on the Ball.
All right, I've got it out of my system.
All right.
Let's go to picks.
If we haven't sold you yet,
If you're
on
not
winning
hyped
the
up
game-
for this game Saturday and to stay the whole time, I don't know what else to tell you. I need to quit my job in sales.
Can we talk about the whole student section debacle thing? We had this argument on Twitter with this
Yes.
guy who I'm pretty sure I can confidently say is now a friend of the program. Talking about the student section. Listen.
can I explain my point of the tweet? Yeah,
You
say your thing.
Here's a message to all of our UCF Twitter mafia, or now what do we call them? X mafia. I don't care. Make sure you read what we're saying, because we were talking about
Two different
They were bringing things up like,
Yeah.
oh, nobody understands what the fees are.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about physically coming, showing up, staying the whole
Right.
game.
And that's
we're
why-
talking about fees. It's like, yeah, we understand you're paying a fee within your tuition to come to, and it helps finance.
Right.
We're not talking about financing our athletics department. We're talking about showing up,
Right.
and being there.
That was my whole point of the tweet. Was like, obviously, it came on a thread that was talking about the season ticket increases, which we all knew were going to happen. They talked about it, that they were going to be rising for the next
It's
3
not
or
a
so
shock.
years. We're moving up. It's not a shock at all. But the whole point of the tweet was that the student section has been abysmal this year, and I was just making a joke saying, oh, maybe instead of increasing the prices on our tickets, they should just sell the upper bowl in the north end zone and get people in the stadium, because if you've been to a game, you know there's nobody there.
No, exactly.
I mean, especially by maybe at kickoff it's 3/4 full in the upper bowl, but by halftime there's not a soul in that north end zone. If you sell it to season ticket holders, which there's a wait list for, people
They'll
will be
stay.
there, and they have a better
They will
chance of
stay.
staying than those drunk students.
So here is the moral of the story. We are 3 dudes who don't know anything about anything. We're just here to have a good time. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
We're just having fun.
I wasn't trying to talk about
It's
finances.
okay. We weren't trying to talk about tuition. We're not board members at the university.
We might as well be.
We're just guys talking shit. That's it.
Right.
No,
Well,
it's not that deep.
the only thing I'll argue that one guy said was like he was talking about like students being out there for so long and whatever. Soft. We all did it.
Soft. And with the tweet
2017, everybody was doing it.
And I replied-
But we stayed the whole game.
I replied from
Soft.
my personal Twitter account, and I
I
said
did
this
too.
wasn't a problem in 2017,
Yeah,
2018.
no, soft.
And then I said, and there's a deep
Loser
drive to
mentality.
left field by Castellanos.
Yeah.
It'll be a home run, because I was just trolling. Because at that point, it's like if you don't understand by now that we are not it ain't that deep, bro.
Right. But if you love football,
If you love football, you're gonna
you're
be
there.
there.
I don't care. I love football.
If you love UCF football, you're gonna be there.
Exactly. Soft. Loser mentality.
I drew the line when I got mansplained ticketing.
Oof, yeah, dude.
Coming from the
You
professional.
don't know who you're talking to.
So
It's like,
anyway,
trust me, I know.
I guess that's my rant for the week. It's like we're it's not that deep.
It's not that
we're
serious.
Just
We're idiots.
We're dumb.
I was mostly making a joke.
We are dumb people. Okay, we have been diagnosed at a young age with shit for brains. I promise.
But we still fire people up, and it's going to be a great time
Hell
on
yeah.
Saturday.
And
Win.
That's the best part, is because us idiots still have faith each and every week.
That's why we show up in those stands.
That's why we're there.
Just to
And
get
that's why
our
Brandon
hearts ripped
stopped.
out.
That's why I leave with a bone spur and bruises on the bottom of my heel every week, and I wake up the next morning and I'm like, why is the bottom of my foot blue?
Bottom of my foot.
Oh yeah, it's bruised from me leaving it all on the field for this team.
That's why Brandon stopped.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
That's why Justin goes through all of the emotions, and that's why I eat the food.
I have a scar on my knee from one of the backs of the seats
This,
that bounce
this
out.
scar right
right,
here
yeah.
on my legs from
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Dude, y'all get your asses kicked when you go to games.
I leave every
I'm saying
game with
they're fine.
bruises that I don't know where they came from.
Well, actually, that's not true. I leave without a voice all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I don't have a voice, and the next morning I'm like, my name's Josh, and I used to be a smoker, like that kind of thing. So, anyway, not that serious. It's not that deep.
All right,
Let's move to picks.
Picks.
We've been on a roll tonight. We're probably almost at an hour. I'd feel like. I don't know. I can't read it from here.
Or in general.
52.
Oh, not bad. Okay.
bad.
We gotten off on a couple rants.
We have.
My recap from last week's going to be quick because it was a rough week. But relatively speaking, not that rough. 3-5. Could have been better. Season total 38, 32, and 2. We'll hit the losers first. Notre Dame -1 over Clemson. It was never Notre Dame. Ole Miss -4.5 over A&M. Ole Miss beat by 3. Didn't get the line adjustment.
Somebody got hit in the nuts. Yep.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you got a push. Wait.
I had 4.5.
Oh, sorry, 4.5. Oh,
Yeah.
I had him at -3. You didn't get the line adjustment?
No.
Dang.
Missouri and Georgia over 56. Close, but not enough. FSU Pitt over 51. FSU never showed up. Pitt was never going to show up. And UCLA -2.5 over Arizona. Arizona, I guess, is a good football team.
Who would have thought?
So the three winners I had, Army, Air Force under 35. Army won outright as huge dogs. Washington -3 over USC. And Kansas +1.5 over Iowa State.
Nice. So I had an okay week last week. I went 4-3-1. So
We have a push.
we had a push. We'll knock out the losers first. Like Brandon said, Notre Dame -1 was never the play. They lost outright. I had FSU Pitt over. I think you had that as well. Over 50.5. Just never got started. And then I had Oklahoma, OK State, Bedlam. Had to take the over 61.5. Unfortunately, did not hit. So those are my three losers. My push, Ole Miss -3. I guess I just got lucky with better line than Brandon, so we'll take the push there. And then my four winners on the week, I had K-State +4.5 against Texas. They could have won this game. They kind of choked it away, but they still covered. My too many points of the week was Mizzou +15.5 against Georgia. That one was pretty easy. They lost by 9. Penn State, Maryland over 50, an easy cash there. And then Kansas +2.5 against Iowa State, outright winners. So
I had a terrible week. It was bad. I went 2-5 with a perfect parlay loser.
oof.
Shout out Rutgers for being trash and Texas for not covering. Texas -4.5. They won by 3. It was losers. But anyway, let's go through these picks here. We'll talk about our losers. Notre Dame -1. What were we thinking? What were we thinking?
Thought they were good.
We got bamboozled. What that is. I had Boise +3 against Fresno. They lost by a touchdown, so that's terrible. Memphis -13.5 versus USF. They won by 9.
That was a
Dead to
blow.
me.
Yep.
Temple and Navy. I had under 44.5. It was 32-18 was the final, so they had 50 points scored. That's annoying. And then I also had FAU -1 against UAB. They lost outright to UAB. The two winners, though, and you're going to love this. First one was Washington -3 against USC. I think that was pretty much a lock. And then the only other winner I had, Iowa Northwestern under 30.5. They scored a total of 17 points.
I teased the over at 25. Never had a chance.
No, not a shot.
8th highest scoring game at Wrigley Field this year.
That's wild.
Wild.
7 baseball games were higher scoring.
It was 0-0 at halftime. That's just all we're going to say. So 2-5 on the year. My season total, I have it here. I'm actually doing pretty good. 40, 35, and 2.
I forgot
I think I know
forgot
what-
my season total again. 44, 38, and 3.
I think I know what Josh has on his card this week. I saw a pretty low under.
Did I take it?
It's like
Hold on.
29 this week,
It's
isn't
29.
It's 29.
I have
yeah.
to see if yes, I have it.
Yeah, of course you do.
All right, week 11.
It's free money.
This is my biggest card to date this year. I
Really?
saw a lot that I liked. And we're going to start with some action. Tomorrow night, Northern Illinois and Ball State over 43. The only reason I can think it's this low is because it's going to be snowing. I did not check the weather, so I'll just look tomorrow at some point to see if it's
Always
snowing
check the
or not.
weather when you take an over.
It's Maction. The over is going to hit. Next, another over. I really don't know what to expect from this game, but I've got Michigan Penn State over 44.5. I don't know.
Yeah, that is pretty low.
I don't know which Penn State team's going to show up. I don't know if they're going to score. I don't know if they're not. Michigan's going to get theirs, so we'll see what happens.
They're gonna steal science or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Next, this one kind of a toss-up. I'm taking Missouri plus 1.5 over Tennessee. I don't see Missouri losing that game. They're a good team. Tennessee hasn't been that impressive this year. Next, this is another low over. I'm taking Washington and Utah over 54.5. Next, this is my too many points of the week, which I haven't had very many of this year. I'm taking Miami plus 14.5 against FSU. I think that half point is big.
Yeah, half point is huge.
And also, I mean, I would love for Miami to win this game, but I don't think they're going to. But I'll be cheering for Miami this weekend.
Yeah.
This one, I think they're going to continue their high off of their beat on Florida. I've got Arkansas minus 3 over Auburn. I have this one as a shootout. West Virginia, Oklahoma over 58. We have the second battle mid of I guess it's the second battle of mid for the year. Houston and Cincinnati. I'm taking Houston minus 2.5. And then my last pick for the week, I'm taking Fresno State minus 1.5 over San Jose State.
Great pick. All right. So I have a solid slate this week. I got 7 plays. I have 2 duplicates with Brandon, so we'll start out with those. The second battle of mid of the year, we're going with Houston minus 2.5. Just that half point is huge, and I really like that with Houston at home. And I don't think Houston has as much problems stopping the run as we do, so they should be okay. And then Fresno State minus 1.5 against San Jose State. That one should be pretty easy if Fresno plays the way they usually do. Moving on, then I have some action. I really wanted to take some action this week, so I'm taking Bowling Green at Kent State. I'm going Bowling Green minus 8. Kent State is not a good football team.
Neither is Bowling Green.
Yeah, neither is Bowling Green. So I think that game's on Wednesday, but actually Bowling Green 5-4. They got a winning record. Yeah, we'll give it to them. Anyways, I have two too many points of the week. My first one, Georgia Tech plus 14.5 against Clemson. I think Clemson's going to be coming off a hangover game. I still don't think they're a good team. I think Notre Dame choked it away. This game is at Clemson, but I feel like Georgia Tech typically plays teams close. Yeah, exactly. Like they're a better team than people are giving them credit for this year, and that half point is huge, so we'll take that. My only over of the week, I'm going Tennessee and Mizzou. I'm going over 58.5. I do think Mizzou wins this game, but I didn't really want to touch the spread because I was a little iffy on it, so I'm going to take the over. Then I have Florida is at LSU. This is tough because it depends on if Jaden Daniels is playing or not. He's in concussion protocol, but if he is playing, I mean, I'm taking this line either way. I'm hoping he's playing. LSU minus 13.5. I think that half point's huge, and Florida's not a good team, man. LSU should handle them easily. And then my last play of the week, my second too many points, Duke at UNC. I'm going Duke plus 12. Both these teams were really good to start the year off. They have died down a little bit, but it's kind of a rivalry game. I mean, not so much in football, but I'd still count it as a rivalry game, so I like 12 points there.
Gotcha. Alrighty, well, I have 8 picks on my card and a perfect parlay. Just a side note, we did do the calculations today. I am 4-7 on the year in perfect parlays, which I think is wild.
As well.
Wild stat to have four wins. So we did say if Justin and Brandon are going to get punished somehow, I do have to go 500, so I essentially have to win out here with perfect parlays. But anyway.
Worth noting, how much is it up this year?
So if you were to place a $10 wager on every perfect parlay, you would have won $498.
Not bad.
With a bankroll of 538. So that's what your balance would be, which is pretty solid. So
That's really good.
coming soon. Hard Rock, maybe. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get into these picks. My first one is a spite pick, as always. Temple plus 7.5 against USF. I hope Temple wins. They're not going to, but 7.5, that half point is actually a lot. I actually have Penn State plus 4.5 against Michigan.
I thought about taking that.
I went ahead and just sent it.
They're at home.
They're at home, and again, it depends on which Penn State shows up. I think 4.5 is a good enough line to take. I have Nebraska plus 1.5 against Maryland.
Dead to me.
Nebraska, they beat Michigan State this past week. I watched the end of that game, and it was pretty terrible. Why are they dead to you, Brandon?
Bro, Brandon said that with his chest, dude.
Why are they dead to you? I know. I felt that from here.
I had them winning this past weekend. They clearly did not.
Ooh, Nebraska?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all. That's all it takes, dude.
They lost to Michigan State.
That sucks.
It did.
Dead to me.
Sorry.
Dead.
We've had teams dead to us for less.
I'm
It was
really
in
shocked.
it was in a parlay.
I'm really shocked at how intense that
Dude,
was.
it was with
You're
his
just
chest.
dead to me. I felt that.
When we were at lunch, he was pissed, dude.
Anyway, moving on. One of my too many points of the week. I kind of went back and forth on this one, but I'm gonna take it. West Virginia plus 12.5 versus Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is on a skid right now. They are just not looking good.
Down bad.
I think Oklahoma still wins. Don't think they can do 12.5 though. I have the Clones minus 6.5 versus BYU. I also have Fresno minus 1.5 against San Jose State. My other too many points of the week: Michigan State coming off of this win plus 31.5 against Ohio State.
I thought about that.
I'm gonna do it.
I thought about that, but I did that with like Rutgers or something, and it didn't work for me.
I'm gonna send it because I think they can be within 4 touchdowns. We'll see.
Who's at home?
We'll see. Ohio State's at home.
Oh,
Again, 31.5 is just a lot of points.
Dude, every time
It
I
is
see
a lot.
a spread like that, I really want to
It's
take
a
it. But
lot of
I
points.
did it with Rutgers. I did it with Army. I've been burned by it.
And then, as always, the sky is blue, water is wet, RJ Harvey's a dog, Colton Boomer's automatic, and Josh is taking the Iowa under. Iowa versus Rutgers, under 29.
NCAA record.
Yeah, it's a record.
Lowest
and
line ever.
If this hits, I might throw a party because 29 points is not a lot.
that is an awful football game to watch.
It's terrible.
Where is it a great football game? It's a completely different sport. Yeah, I don't know if we can
It's
talk
not
football.
football.
It's not football.
It's like that and the Alabama LSU game this past weekend. Two completely different sports.
Yes, 100%. 100%. And then last but not least, we have the perfect parlay at plus 1259, 4 legs this week. I'm going to take Boston College minus 1 against Virginia Tech. I think Boston College can win by at least a field goal. Miami FSU, I'm actually taking the over, 50.5. I think that could hit pretty easily. This one is kind of questionable. Texas at TCU, I'm taking the over 53.5. If it's going to hit, it's going to be very close. And then last but not least, I have a third over in Ole Miss and Georgia over 58.5. I think Georgia will put up a lot. I think Ole Miss can kind of, I wouldn't say hang with them, but they'll put up some points. Again, these are just 3 overs that I think if they're going to hit, it'll be very close. But anyway, 4 legs, Boston College minus 1, over 50.5 in Miami FSU, over 53.5 in Texas TCU, and over 58.5 in Ole Miss and Georgia. And I just want to remind you, I'm 4-7 on perfect parlays. Doesn't hurt to
try it.
Doesn't hurt to tail.
Well, boys, big game Saturday.
Huge game.
3
for launch.
3:30 ESPN Space Game. I was going to get the final line adjustment before we sign off here. We've got currently as it stands at about 7:30 Monday night. Line opened at 3.5, down to 2.5. Over under opened at 61.5 is up to 64.5.
It is incredible that our games keep remaining at such high over totals when our offenses look the way it has this year.
Yeah.
So take the under.
Take the under.
Well, you'd be shocked. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you look at this. The over for us this year is 6-3.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
That wasn't us then.
it ain't us.
We're not contributing to that.
For Oklahoma State, it's 4-5, but they are 6-3 against the spread.
Yeah.
But hey, there's 3 losses
Hey.
in there.
Go back to your selling. We're going to win.
3:30 ESPN, 1:30 for our friends at Boise. We have finished. The flag did not fall today.
Which is crazy because it felt like
Because it fell
Undefeated.
right before we started.
Right before we started
Undefeated
recording.
when the flag doesn't fall.
Literally, the flag fell right before we started. and then I just put it back up. Same tape that we used last week too. Didn't put any new tape on or
Incredible.
anything.
So that tape's staying on there. We're not changing that tape.
This tape is undefeated.
Dang.
Take with that.
Space
what you will.
games are undefeated.
Space games. are
Blue
undefeated.
jerseys are undefeated.
What do you know?
My heart rate's getting up a
You
little.
guys ready for Saturday?
I'm ready.
Go Knights, charge on.
Charge on.
Charge on.
Dudes on the Mall is the podcast to listen to.